receivers. And then Tannehill, you might tell me, is unspectacular, and you're right. And then he went 22 for 27 for 333 and threw a couple of touchdowns and an interception. Derrick Henry runs the ball, didn't have a spectacular night, but he was damn solid with 87 yards and a touchdown. And the defense for the Titans is good. And that's a 7-3 football team that went in. And I don't know if that's a signature win, as everybody's telling me, because I don't think the Packers are that damn good. But it's a nice win on the road in Lambeau to continue doing what they're doing. And that's kind of what I expected last night. I just, the Packers are off. Rodgers is off. And I didn't buy that they had figured it out because of that one quarter against the Cowboys.
Jeff, that is why people listen to this show. You are right. I am wrong, and people
That's
enjoy
not
that.
Right.
That should be the opening drive tagline. Like, that should be the intro to the show.
I mean, no, we have different opinions, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes you're right. Just in this case, I was right.
And last night, it was more of the same for the Packers offensively. I wasn't expecting them to be explosive, but you figured, all right, could they get in a rhythm? Because Tennessee, everything about Tennessee is solid, and it's not spectacular, and that's fine. That wins you games in the NFL because they're consistent overall. When Ryan Tannehill gets in a groove, he's a good quarterback. You saw that last night. Mm-hmm. Open passes, he was hitting them. He was hitting them in
protected.
Rhythm. And that's the guy that shows you spurts, which is why Tennessee is all in on Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. And what is big for them is their first round pick actually showed up to play, Treylon Burks, who adds to Robert Woods. They had some downfield passing options. Derrick Henry, they used him multiple ways, which is fantastic. He actually caught 3 passes, which is tremendous because he's got to be on the field. You want to sprinkle in Hilliard. That's fantastic. Everything about Tennessee last night is a team that you look at and go, all right, this is why they dominate that division. This is why they rack up so many wins. Because winning on the road in the NFL, whoever you beat is always good. Especially when you do it in Lambeau Field, when everyone, as you said, was talking up the Packers, the momentum, they're figuring it out. And it was more of the same. Aaron Rodgers missing open throws in the fourth quarter.
Regularly, which was astonishing. And I know it was cold and I know it was windy, but he's kind of made a career out of that. And he was not good yesterday. 24 out of 39 for Rodgers. And he was sacked at just one time, but it felt like he was pressured a lot. I don't know what the numbers are, and I know we could look this up and we could research this over the last 4 years. I would guess the Titans have the second best record in the NFL over that period after the Chiefs. They're consistent. What Mike Vrabel has put together there, and while it might be unspectacular to some, I don't know, Derrick Henry's pretty freaking spectacular. The defense is consistent. What you said is right. They're consistent. And I think the other thing is maybe they appreciate Ryan Tannehill a little bit more. I think the Titans do. They went out and drafted Malik Willis, right, from Liberty. And he played against the Chiefs, and obviously he's not ready. I think he threw for 30 yards. And they get Ryan Tannehill back. And you realize the difference between an NFL quarterback and a rookie who might have some potential down the line. A guy who's won games. And look, I get it. He was really, really bad, was Ryan Tannehill in that playoff game last year against the Bengals. And you know who else was really bad in a playoff game? And I'm not making a direct comparison. Same round. Aaron Rodgers was really, really bad in that same round last year against the 49ers. Now, Aaron Rodgers has done a lot more in his career than Ryan Tannehill, so he gets way more leeway. And all of a sudden, well, see, Tannehill's done, and he's not good, and he never was good. Well, look, I'm not telling you that the Titans were a 1 seed because of Tannehill, but I am telling you that he is a reason. No number 1 seeds become number 1 seeds with bad quarterbacks. He's a decent quarterback. Now, look, that club, nobody's talking about them in the AFC, right? I mean, when you're telling me about the AFC, it starts with Chiefs and Bills, and then it goes to Dolphins and Chargers and everybody else, right? Ravens, they're right there, man. They're right.
Well,
there.
we're talking about the Chargers because they're so disappointing. But if you stack them up, there's, I think, 5 really good teams. And then there's the 6 or 7. You can say, these are playoff teams.
So like, Bills and Chiefs, right?
Yeah, to me, Kansas City, Miami, Baltimore, Buffalo, and you give Tennessee credit. And I think the Jets would be behind those teams if we're talking about getting it done late in the season.
I think Dolphins, Bengals, Jets. I mean, the Bengals are the defending AFC champions. They're pretty damn good still. The Dolphins are playing in a cloud. Like I would put the Dolphins, the Bengals, the Jets in a category that says, all right, let's see what they do in the playoffs. Right? And the Chargers may get there. They're going to get healthy. They get supposedly Keenan Allen's going to play this week. Supposedly Mike Williams is going to play this week. Let's see what they do. But that last night to me was more about the Titans, although quite a bit about the Packers. And let's talk about the Packers. Are they done?
Yes.
I think they are. Right? I mean, where are you? Good morning, Amory.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm trying to.
No,
my computer will not start. I do think they're done.
That's your division, man. That's your beat.
Yes, and they are far behind the number one Minnesota Vikings right now.
Well, they're 5 games back. They're not winning the division.
Absolutely not.
They are 4-7. Like, I mean, are they a wild card team? And I just don't see a path.
Yeah, I don't see a path either. And they just, I mean, I know they beat Dallas, and everyone thought they were back, except you, Jeff. You were right. Yeah, I just don't. They don't look good.
And it starts to me with Rodgers, and you can tell me, and everybody can tell me, well, he doesn't have receivers. You know what?
No,
I'm not sure. I think that's right.
That's not true.
Like
Something's off.
something's not right with Rodgers. To me, it's starting there because you could tell me all you want about the rookie receivers. He had one rookie receiver out there. Lazard's a veteran, Cobb's a veteran, Tanyan's a veteran. His running backs have been there. He had open receivers all night. It's not like they dropped the ball all freaking night.
Mm-mm.
Romeo Doubs is hurt. I mean, and he took the blame last night. He said, I got to be better. I got to throw the ball better. I got to put the ball on him. I mean, all night long he had receivers open. He almost took a safety on throwing the ball away on an
And you don't see
intentional
that
grounding.
from Rodgers. Usually when he has 30 seconds, you're like, okay, here we go.
Something's not
That's a
right.
lot of time for Rodgers.
Something's not right
No,
there.
absolutely not.
Do you disagree? Like there's just something that's
No, he's off. He doesn't trust in those dudes. He finally
I
is
think that's
starting
it.
to trust Watson.
a little bit.
Yeah, he finds him in the
But-
end zone.
You're overthrowing Lazard on a crossing route when he has separation. He's open in the field. Miss Sammy Watkins on a third down throw.
And they were wide freaking open. Oh yeah, the overthrow on Lazard. At first, I thought it was Lazard's got to catch that. He targeted Lazard 11 times. Like that's his guy, but he missed him all night. Targeted Watson 6 times. Now it's something's not right. Packer fan. I mean, I don't know where you go, but they're in for $50 million next year too, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if it's movable. I mean, somebody would take him, right? Is he done?
Someone would take him, but I don't think that's where Green Bay is at. I don't think that's all right, we need to move on from Aaron Rodgers.
So what's the answer then? He's just got to get better. He's got to become Aaron Rodgers again.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a slump, or do you think this is a father time issue?
slump?
I kind of am leaning that way.
Because there's not when you watch Rodgers,
No.
the missed throws. It's not like, oh, he doesn't have it. Like, oh, he can't push the football down the field. He can't hit that window. It feels like
he missed a lot of windows.
well, I mean,
yesterday.
like I'm just talking like he can get it everywhere it needs to be still.
Yeah.
Like when you
He's
watch
got the
it,
arm
like,
strength. He's got the
Yeah, he's missed passes. Yes,
the athleticism. Yeah.
and even and I do think some of that will change if Christian Watson, who by the way is a second round pick,
Mhm.
like so he's pretty highly
Mhm.
thought of wide receiver, develops into a number one because you see the traits. He's the most athletic wide receiver they have. And if he can kind of develop into a true number one, Allen Lazard settles into a number two. You run it back with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. There's pieces it feels like, all right, you can get the squeeze every last inch out of Aaron Rodgers. It's just been off from the start, and there's been no way for him to settle back in this year.
All right, Packer fan, you kind of need to come in today and I love your thought. I mean, I don't know. When there's an emotional tie, I think you've got a different view, and I'd like to hear it. Kind of a bat signal. Where's Jess today, and where's Mandy today? She okay? Have you checked on her?
No, I should though.
I mean, yeah, you better make sure she's okay. But I want to hear from Packer fan because that was. I'll tell you what, man. I'm not surprised. It's kind of what I expected, but that decline has been rapid. That was the 1 seed in the NFC. Look, it's like the Rams, man. They won the freaking Super Bowl and they're garbage. The Packers are kind of the same way.
And a lot of this, too, on Green Bay. It's where you don't immediately look at Aaron Rodgers and say, well, this ship has sailed. They have been one of the most disappointing defenses in the NFL. And there hasn't been, from that unit, moments where you go, all right, we're not getting the offense that we expect, but here's the Green Bay defense that they invested a lot in. There's first-round picks over there. That's always the thing is, why are they taking all these defensive players outside of Jordan Love in the first round? And overall, that's how you become a 4-7 football team. Just not very good.
All right, we got a lot on the plate today. 8 o'clock this morning, Richard Pitino is scheduled to be with us. Lobos and Aggies at the Pit tomorrow. Basketball, we heard from Greg Heyer, the Aggie coach, yesterday. Richard Pitino scheduled to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We got Lobo football tonight. The Aztecs are in town. Going to be chilly. It's going to 7:45 start over on FS1. So we'll talk some Lobo football as well. There's a ton to talk about in the National Football League, from moving games to dudes coming back to lawsuits to investigations to all kinds of junk. So we'll go there. And what an interesting day in college basketball yesterday. One really, really nice win for the Mountain West. Actually, a really, really nice win for the Mountain West in Charleston yesterday. So we'll get into all that. The numbers to get in is 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Tweet at JJ, it's _JJ Buck. Facebook, the OD and the AM. Adrian's producing the video medium on Comcast, Channel 26, ProView Networks, YouTube page, and, of course, on our Facebook page. And you can text us. So there's a lot of ways to get here, 505-246-0610. We come back more on the on the Titans and Packers yesterday, and we're going to get through some NFL notes as we get you ready for a big weekend. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to...
Okay. Aztecs Lobos tonight, football. News Radio KKOB. You and Nedward Abraham James have the pregame at what, 6:45?
6:30.
6:30. You're doing an extra 15 minutes in it?
Someone is.
You get paid extra, don't you? 6:30 pregame show over on News Radio KKOB. San Diego State coming off that big win over San Jose State. They've had an up and down season. Blew that game to Fresno State a few weeks ago. That was the one that just got me. Back at it tonight. Jordan Bird, Keyshawn Banks, a couple of local kids coming in. And remember when they got recruited? When Rocky was there, Danny was still there, San Diego State, and they came in and took these 2 really good high school players out of here. And it was like, yeah, no, I get it. Everybody understands going away to college. They're good players. They have become really key pieces. They've stayed their full 5 years, right? At San Diego State. And Keyshawn has become a heck of a defensive lineman. Jordan is as dynamic as anybody in that league. It's on special teams, and then they get him out of space, coming out of the backfield. They've had hell of careers, both of them, at San Diego State.
Yeah, for Jordan Bird, he's their primary back and all the things that he does in that offense. Keyshawn Banks, starter, all conference level player, both of them in their specific areas, what Jordan Bird can do in special teams, but the commitment too, because Bird's not a big kid at all.
Hardly.
But his speed, his physicality at his size, super impressive careers for both those guys.
No, New Mexico should be proud of those 2 young men. And they'll be coming back. And then, of course, it is senior night tonight for the 12 seniors on Lobo football. And I think, I got a text this morning, let's hope you see some offense. I think that's kind of where Lobo football fan is tonight is, okay, let's see what we can do offensively. Can we score a little bit? I think, San Diego State has struggled offensively all year until last week. And it feels like they found a quarterback. It feels like they put something together last week. Jeff Horton is their offensive coordinator again, as he was back in, up until 2019 when Rocky was there. And he was their offensive coordinator through the New Mexico Bowl when they beat Central Michigan and put, 49 points on them. It felt like last week they figured it out. And unlike, one quarter for the Packers against the Cowboys, I kind of feel maybe San Diego State figured something out last week.
They did. Because they have a quarterback in Jalen Maiden who, he was playing safety for them
he was.
Because he wanted to get on the field.
Yes.
But if you go back, he was recruited to Mississippi State out of high school to play quarterback. Yep. So he committed to Mississippi State as a quarterback. He is not a guy that's just like, oh, you've thrown a football a couple times, we'll go try it. Like, that was his path to Division I. Kind of fell out of favor, never got his chance. And you see him getting his chance. He's big, he's athletic, he can make the throws. He's opened up the passing offense. Since he is taken over, he is second in the Mountain West in total offensive yards per play.
Right.
Just under 8 yards per play. 7th in passing touchdowns and passing yards per game and total offense per game. And that's pretty good for a guy
that was playing defensive back.
Playing defensive back and then is like, oh, we're not playing good. We got a bunch of injuries. Hey, you want to play quarterback again? To come in mid-season and give it that offense some life.
And give it to Brady Hoke and Jeff Horton for realizing that. They went through 3 other quarterbacks before that. And they said, all right, what about that guy? Can he play? And it can't get any worse. They gave it a shot, and it's worked for them. So Aztecs and Lobos tonight, 7:45 out of University Stadium. It's over on News Radio KKB. JJ and Ned will have the pregame show at 6:30. I promised you some NFL stuff when we get back. So a couple of things, NFL. So when they're talking 4 to 5 feet of snow, okay, you lived in Minnesota. You know what that means. I don't. 4 to 5 feet of snow sounds like, I don't know, like a couple of years worth of snow. They're going to get that this weekend in Buffalo, so they're moving to Detroit, and they're going to play the Browns and Bills in Detroit. I'm fine with this. I love the people who are saying, oh, that's ridiculous. You're soft. Play in the snow. That's why. Yeah, okay. To me, good move by the NFL. I know they didn't want to. They didn't want to take a game away from the Bills. But go play football and keep everybody safe.
Some of the running backs aren't even 6 feet tall. What if the snow's 6 foot?
Yeah, no, I think they would clear it off the field.
I'm just kidding.
I think that's how it works. You know better than I.
I was trying to be funny.
So you think they get lost
that
in
was
snow
a joke.
Yeah.
Evan Singletary's not that tall.
Yeah. Josh Allen's like he's just peering above the horizon line on the snow.
Some Friday funnies for you.
Thank you. It's the right move, isn't it? I mean,
something that dramatic.
Yeah.
Travel, everything. Like, it's safety. It's not just the actual game of football. There goes a lot to playing football, and including a lot of people traveling.
Like at 3 to 6 inches, yeah, you're playing again. It's Buffalo.
When you
3 to 6 feet, what?
How many times do you get 4 to 5 feet of snow, like in one dump?
Well, let's see. I mean, I was little. When I was born in North Dakota. You get a lot. I mean, it's just normal winter though. But this is supposed to be a blizzard.
There's normal winter, and then there's this. They play football in normal winter, right? I mean, they live in Buffalo.
Not often.
Well, but I mean, they live in Buffalo. They play normal winter. I watched Central Michigan and Western Michigan play in snow the other night. This sounds like some major
this is a blizzard.
Event.
It's called a blizzard.
Remember when we had the blizzard? The
thunder snow.
Was it 2018 New Year's Eve? Yeah, when I was going to the Rose Bowl.
Blizzard.
Remember I couldn't get out. Remember that whole morning when I was sitting here trying to rent a car and there were no cars. I found a truck, drove to Phoenix, got my car stuck, blew out my back. There was inches, like a foot of snow in my driveway, and the town shut down, the airport shut down, everything shut down because we were getting a blizzard here, and it was like, oh my goodness, we're getting 8-10 inches of snow, and people lost their mind. This is the right thing.
I don't know if anyone's built for 6 feet of snow. If that actually
no, look, and it's not football weather. Nobody likes it. Nobody enjoys it. I mean, like, I hope people.
If you ever wondered what the NFL cares about, they do care about your fantasy football team.
Well, thank you.
Because thank goodness that Stephon Diggs and Amari Cooper
are going to
play in a dome and not 6 feet of snow.
Yeah. And that's a big, they need to. That's what they care
Thank you,
about. All right, a couple other NFL things. The Eagles add Ndamukong Suh to their defensive line. Big deal, little deal, no deal. I think it's a deal. I think if he's got a couple of plays in him to add to that, this is the kind of veteran moves that teams make to put him over the top.
And Linval Joseph,
right?
All in one day,
right?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it
because you're an NFC team. Yeah, that's fair.
Good move.
It's really
especially because they've been injured.
Yeah, I think it's a really good move. And then this is interesting to me, and then we'll take the break and go to the phones. Fritz Pollard Group. Do you know what the Fritz Pollard Group is?
No.
It's this organization whose mission is to champion diversity in the NFL. So they're taking a closer look at the Colts hiring of Jeff Saturday. And I understand all this. They had to hire an interim coach. They had coaches on staff. They went off staff. They hired him. This isn't a permanent hire. This is this isn't a long-term thing. We've talked about this a lot. They released a statement yesterday, said, quote, in light of the recent interim head coaching hire in Indianapolis, the Fritz Pollard Alliance has initiated an inquiry with the NFL into whether this hiring process conformed with the NFL hiring guidelines for naming an interim head coach. That was the statement. So they're going after this. The Rooney Rule, as you know, does not take effect with the interim hiring. So just know it's there. I don't know that we need to get deep into this. If you want to, we can. Just know it's there. The league had a spokesperson come out and say after the Saturday was named to the position that interim appointments are not subject to the Rooney Rule. Okay? So it's unclear what specific guidelines here are in question. The FPA director, the Fritz Pollard Alliance head guy, hasn't said anything, but this will be interesting to see where this goes, if anything, or if this is just posturing. And it kind of feels like the latter to me, but we'll see where it goes. All right, we'll go to the phones when we come back. Richard Pitino is scheduled to be with us when we hit the 8 o'clock mark today. I'm looking forward to talking to him as the Lobos and Aggies go at each other tomorrow in the pit in basketball. Dealing with thinning hair, losing your hair, don't know what to do, don't know where to go, don't know who to call, but you want to do something about it. NuMale is where you should go. NuMale is who you should call. Industry-leading, cutting-edge treatments to reverse that trend, restore your hair. It's good for men. It's good for women who want to look better and feel better, get their hair back. NuMale's medical professionals will walk you through this whole process, so you get to choose the procedure that's best for you. They offer you platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. This uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle. It stops hair loss, you regrow hair. They have a clinically cleared, FDA clinically cleared hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. And they have NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week. There's no linear scarring. Call them at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. Or you can go online at NuMale, NuMale.com. And fellas, NuMale helps guys all over the country deal with problems like fatigue and depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. Their testosterone replacement has meant feeling better and performing better. It's probably time to deal with this. So give them a call and schedule an appointment at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale.com.
The Albuquerque.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team, she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's Got in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave the coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Smashed it up. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line. So this is a start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
I reached out by State Cordova.
Big weekend. High school football semifinals for the big divisions. Volcano Vista, Cleveland tonight. La Cueva's down, play Centennial in Las Cruces tomorrow. Lobos and Aztecs tonight out of University Stadium in football. Lobos Aggies in the Pit men's basketball tomorrow. Lady Lobos, can I say that? They still Lady Lobos? Lobo women's basketball against Arizona State in the Pit on Saturday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
I mean, I said Saturday. On Sunday afternoon. The next day.
And by the way,
yeah,
the university
is
selling ticket packages.
Yeah.
You can get a ticket to each game.
Yeah. Like all of them?
Like I don't know now because of the way the men's tickets were going. At one point, last week when they announced it, it was $25.
For all 3 games?
Yes. You kidding me?
Wow. That's terrific. That's terrific. How do you do that? Go Lobos.com?
Yeah.
Call the Lobo ticket office at 925-5626. While you're at it, take advantage of the last day of the New Mexico Bowl 3-day sale.
You're going to want to be there.
New Mexico Bowl tickets are on sale. I think we're going to have a really nice matchup. Where this thing's trending right now, I think you're really going to like the matchup. Today is the last day of the sale. Lower Bowl tickets $30. North End Zone, general admission to that North End Zone, just $15. And every entry, every order will be entered into a drawing for VIP upgrades at the New Mexico Bowl. So take advantage of that today, newmexicobowl.com or 505-925-LOBO. All right, let's go to the phones. 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning to you.
Would you guys say that we have a robust cornucopia of sporting events this weekend?
Potentially a plethora, yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Quite the potpourri. Hey, first of all, did you see that tremendous dunk last night by the University of South Carolina women's basketball player? I think she's like 6'7". When the Crusher was in college about 30 years ago, those are the kind of dunks I threw down in games. So,
you were up to
as a 5'10" Caucasian, but it was a good feat. The college football schedule is horrible this weekend. The Pac-12 or the Choke 12 had their chance to really be featured this weekend with 2 games. With Choke Utah going up to Choke Oregon, and then Bruin James's Choke UCLA team going to USC. I'm rooting for USC because all those other teams are a bunch of chokers.
Well, the whole West Coast is rooting for SC. I mean, it's the last hope for the West Coast is SC to run the table.
Absolutely, Jeff, and that's what I'm rooting for because all the other teams had it set up for them, and all they do is choke. But they have cool uniforms and nice matted helmets. So there's the takeaway. In Vegas, they're trying to tell you something with the NFL. The Vikings are at home, and the Cowboys are favored, and money's coming in on the Cowboys. I was talking to A-Lister about this. I think anytime a team like the Vikings comes off a huge emotional win, and the Cowboys defense got pushed around and embarrassed last weekend, I just think Vegas is trying to tell you something, but I'm Vikings. And then they're also trying to tell you there's huge money coming in on the 49ers on Monday night against Arizona, which they're on the road. And there's also huge money coming in on the Colts at home against the Eagles. It opened as a 10-point spread. It moved down to 7. That's significant. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying. My last point is Ryan Tannehill, and I agree with you, Jeff. Last night on our text thread, and there's a bunch of Cowboy fans on our text thread, I said Ryan Tannehill is the AFC version of Dak Prescott. That's the ceiling. I almost got ostracized off the text messaging line, but that's what I see. They're very comparable.
He's done more than
Tannehill's been to the AFC title game. Tannehill's been a number one seed. He's won a bunch of games. He wins important games, and that's the ceiling. And you would have thought I was, calling their mom a bad word. But, one thing I'll say is with Dak, this year he's 2-2. He couldn't get first downs against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week, in the biggest moments at the end of the game, he didn't deliver. And he has a couple of wins over the two worst defenses in the league. So I think these next two games are telltale when they go to Minnesota and they play Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you for taking my call. I think the Lobos are going to have a sound win this weekend against the New Mexico State Aggies, given their experience. Have a nice weekend, guys.
A couple things there. So Ryan Tannehill, if somebody said, who do you want, Tannehill or Dak? Oh, it's easy, Dak. And then you start thinking about it, right? Tannehill has done more than Dak. Now, he's been around longer. That doesn't mean eventually Dak won't get there. It's probably time for Dak to start winning. Tannehill has been solid. Tannehill has been resurrected. Tannehill has found himself in the right situation. Now, I don't know how Ryan Tannehill's career would have gone if he played for Bill Belichick or played for Brandon Staley or played in another place where maybe he didn't have Derrick Henry to lean on. But he didn't have Derrick Henry most of last season to lean on, and they still were the number one seed, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. On the Cowboys-Vikings, as much as I want to go Vikings, this feels like a game the Cowboys win, doesn't it? Like this
it's just too much.
But this is the game that they win every year to get people really fired up about them, and then they go urinate down themselves in something else. But this kind of feels to me like one that they get. As much as I think the Vikings are better, and if this is the playoffs, I would pick the Vikings.
And it's funny because this is the one game I really want to win. Like, this is as a Vikings fan. But the last 2 years, we've gotten rocked by Andy Dalton and Cooper Rush. So let's see if Dak can do it.
Well, maybe it's a different time now. So there's everything in me wants to pick the Vikings.
Me too, but I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Where are you on
little
that?
trap on this. I like that the Vikings are at home, though. That's the only thing I like.
Yeah, all
and
that feet of snow could be outside.
1 p.m.
Yeah.
1 p.m. Kirk is great.
1 p.m. Kirk
No,
is
actually,
really
it's 1:25, so it might be a little iffy.
Oh, so he's gonna get a little sleepy. He's gonna need a little pick me up.
3:25. Sorry, it's the second game.
Get him the Grand Slam.
Oh no, I just love 1 p.m. Kirk.
Take him to Denny's and get him the Grand Slam dinner. Where are you on this?
Slightly into the Vikings.
You are.
I everything I know that's like Edward's shtick is come in and compare every average quarterback to Dak Prescott because it's not to Cowboy fans. It's like, oh my goodness, but to football fans, like Dak Prescott's like the league average now. Like Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, you name it. Like they're all those good quarterbacks that are flashy, but they're a reason that we all kind of have hesitation at times. And I think Dallas is still a good football team overall. Why this is going to be a good game. If I'm getting the home team and points, I'll take the Vikings. And I expect this to be a really close game because everyone's worried. Minnesota, they're not going to run the football. Of course they're going to run the football. They had to throw it because they're down double digits last week. And Jefferson was awesome. They're not going to
He's questionable,
forget
by the way.
who they are in this game. And that's how you attack the Dallas Cowboys. You start on the ground and see if you can open things up.
I think the Vikings are better than the Cowboys. I do. This is just one of those weird, weak feel. It's just a gut for me.
They play
I think the Vikings are better.
A close game, and this is the thing, though. As a Viking fan, old team, pre-Kevin O'Connell, what I've been seeing this season, it's a different team. I would go down this like, oh, we're going to win. We're going to lose to the Cowboys. It's going to be whatever. But, we find a way to win, though, too. So that's why, Jeff, I'm with you. But at the same time, this team's different.
But I think the Cowboys are nice. I do.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys are nice.
I know Cowboy fans they already have been coming after me all week, and I can't wait to hear from Omar.
I got an Omar for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But this team is different though too. So I'm really I think I love this game.
Hey, coming off that call, you rest of the season, you've got a good football team. I mean, let's just say you got the Titans or the Cowboys. I don't care who you want the rest of the year. You want Dak or you want Ryan Tannehill? It's not easy, is it?
No. Also, side note: Justin Jefferson didn't practice a lot this week. Just let everyone know.
Yeah.
Is this the question of?
But I'm not worried.
Like, average football team, all things even. Who do you want to under center?
Yeah. That's
Pick. So
take out the weapons. You mean like what quarterback do you?
Yeah.
want?
So
Like,
you're the
obviously.
Give me a good team. Let's just say you're the Broncos right now. I don't know if they're a good team. And that's a bad example, isn't it? Kyler Murray goes down. Niners.
Okay.
You want Dak Prescott? You got a good football team, and your quarterback goes down. Who you want? Tannehill? You want Prescott the rest of the way? It's easy, is it?
No.
Because they are the same person.
Wow, this is a really.
And on the face, that's easy. I want Dak Prescott. Really, do you?
No.
Do you? I don't know. What's I don't know.
Y'all are about winning big games.
Boy, Cowboy fans just hates that, right?
They hate that.
Because they think they got the guy.
Kirk Cousins gets the same narrative.
I think Kirk Cousins would be in there, and I'd probably take Kirk Cousins right there.
I would take Kirk Cousins.
People tell me, I've been listening to shows telling me how he's just not good, and he just can't. You know what? He's playing a pretty good level right now. Well, he's got Justin Jefferson bailing him out. Okay. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers must be way better than him, but he couldn't have Alan Lazard bail him out because he couldn't hit him. I mean, at least he's putting it in the area that these guys can make a play.
He's a good quarterback.
Gosh,
what football is really hard.
Yeah.
And we do this all the time, and it happens every single year. You understand it. It's a fan mindset of things, but like if you're not elite, you can never be good. And it's a narrative that takes over that too many people hang on to. Too many people that talk about football all the time hang on to. Like there's a good chunk of good quarterbacks in this league that you can be successful with, but it's always like, well, I don't think he's elite, so I can't trust him. It's like, okay.
Was this last night? This Titans offensive coordinator was
I've
arrested?
seen all over Twitter. Yeah.
So after the game last night, where the hell were they?
But that's what I'm saying because maybe it was just released because I'm very confused. So we'll look more into it. I just got the tweet.
When's 11/18?
Today.
It says intake date 11/18 at 4:39 a.m. So so the text you sent or the tweet you sent me is Titans offensive coordinator Todd Downing was arrested in Williamson County. Is that in Wisconsin?
I have no idea.
Early this morning and charged with DUI, or did he get off the plane in Tennessee and drive home and had too many on the plane? I don't even know what state we're talking about. I'm going to guess they got on the plane.
A bunch of people just sent it to me.
Yeah. So do you know where? Are you Googling that? Is it Williamson County? I'm going to guess that they got on the charter, went home, had a few, celebrated, and at 6:30 this morning he might have been. He was arrested then. Wow. All right. That's a bummer for them. All right. Richard Pitino due to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll talk Lobo Aggie basketball. When we come back, big win, the Mountain West last night yesterday afternoon on the basketball court. Really big win. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Halloween is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
So there's a little buzz around town about Lobos and Aggies. Aggies are coming into town today. They got a little event going on tonight. Bunch of people are asking, hey, do you have tickets? Do you got tickets? I'm like, yeah, I don't, but I know they're available. Told a few people. I mean, there's a couple people that want to help out, but I'm using mine too. Like, we're going.
I'm going.
Press row's full. I left those seats open for you, and I'm going to go sit in my seats. Is that cool? Like, just because you don't see me on press row doesn't mean I'm not there, okay? You guys, you big dogs, you guys can go sit there. It's like the attention for this, JJ, right, is pretty.
It's back.
Yeah.
It's
back.
It's back. And if like the hype for a game at the Pit, the hype for a rivalry game, which is always going to be interest. There hasn't been a game like this in a long time at the Pit, where people are this excited. We're not worried. Oh, maybe there'll be a walk-up crowd. Would be pretty good. And people are buzzing about this.
There's a buzz. Yeah, there's a buzz. All right. Big win for the Mountain West yesterday. Colorado State, who is playing in the Charleston Classic, the Shriners Children Charleston Classic, an ESPN event, beat an SEC team yesterday in South Carolina and didn't just beat them, JJ. Beat them like a drum. And I know you said to me yesterday, I believe in Colorado State a little bit more than you do, and that's probably right.
You're right.
And Isaiah Stevens isn't back. Well, we'll see if I'm right. I mean, again, they won yesterday. 85-53, and I watched a good chunk of it, although by the time, I lost interest in it. But they put the pounding on an SEC team, JJ. They beat them by 32 points in South Carolina. Game was in Charleston. Columbia's an hour away. They had a nice crowd there. Colorado State traveled across the country, midday game. This was an impressive win.
Yeah, they blew them out the belt. Start to finish. If Colorado State, you get confidence in who you are, then Isaiah Stevens comes back for league play. That's a team that I think slots 5-4 in the league.
Yeah, they're all in that mix.
Yeah, it was a bad day for Boise State. They only scored 11 points in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they're kind of on the same level as the Rams. And then so if you're looking, all right, you got San Diego State. Same thing for Wyoming. They get some other players in situations so at non-conference play, get Graham Ike back. Then you're like, okay, San Diego State, Wyoming, New Mexico, UNLV, Colorado State, Boise State.
Yeah.
That's what this league needs.
There's some teams. Colorado State will play the host team today at 3 o'clock on ESPN. They will play Charleston. Charleston got by a good Davidson team yesterday, 89-66. Charleston's only loss has been to North Carolina. They scored 86 points against North Carolina. Lost 102-86. So they beat Chattanooga, Richmond, and Davidson. Those are 3 good wins. Like that's good watching right there, 3 o'clock. Like if you're around your TV, ESPN2 today, trying to figure it out, you tell me I'm wrong. Charleston, Colorado State's a good watch today, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Elsewhere in the league last night, Boise State, you mentioned this, played the first round of the Myrtle Beach Invitational. Charlotte beat them 54-42. 11 points, as you mentioned, for the Broncos in the first half. Tough to come back from being down 28-11. Portland went up to Clune Arena, beat Air Force. Portland 64-51 over Air Force. San Jose State suffered their first loss this season. Hofstra, the Flying Dutchman, but they're not the Flying Dutchman anymore. I think they've changed that. They beat San Jose State 85-76. 85-76 Hofstra over San Jose State. And another nice win for Utah State. Go on the road. The Aggies are 4-0, and you didn't even mention them in your top teams. Stephen Ashworth hit the game winner at San Diego in the Slim Jim at the Jenny Craig Center. 91-89. Utah State beat San Diego. So they're 4 wins. They've beaten 2 teams out of the West Coast Conference and a WAC team, and Bradley. So they've beaten Utah Valley, Bradley, Santa Clara, and now San Diego. I think it's a nice road one, a good road one for them.
It is. And could they be the 7? Yeah. And that would be...
They're going to beat some people.
Well, the 7 teams that you feel could be quality games in the league.
Yep.
And then that's how you ultimately get multiple teams to the NCAA tournament, is because your conference isn't dragging you down. You have solid opportunities to stabilize your net ranking overall, and that's what you got to do. Just pick off all these games early, avoid the really bad losses, and get it to January.
Today, Wyoming opens up at the Paradise Jam of the Virgin Islands. They play Howard, Colorado State Charleston. Nevada will play. This is in Arlington, Texas. They're on the road, true road game, playing UT Arlington. Boise State plays Loyola of Chicago. That's a nice game for them in the Myrtle Beach consolation bracket. Loyola lost 85-66 to Tulsa yesterday. And then High Point is at the Thomas and Mack Center to play UNLV. So, look, we're going to watch this league. This is what we're going to do pretty much on a daily basis, is somewhat go through this. Because I think as we watch league scores, JJ, last year was a big year for the Mountain West non-conference to validate itself. And to your point, once you hit January, to make all those games count, and little wins like this, and I don't think even little, dude. I think beating an SEC team by 32 points, that's something. Other big stuff in college basketball last night. Arizona State beat Michigan 87-62 in the final of that tournament at the Barclays Center. Did you see Murray State put it on Texas A&M? 88-73. Not a good day for the SEC. Lobos Aggies tomorrow. Basketball. Scheduled to speak with Lobo head basketball coach Richard Pitino when we return. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Well, there's a pretty good buzz around this state. The Aggies are coming to town. Lobos and Aggies. Basketball, men's basketball tomorrow in the Pit, 5 o'clock tip. Tickets are going quickly. Lobos are 3-0. Aggies are 2-1. Both team won on the other team's home court last year. You might remember a little bit of that. Completely different looking Aggie team, quite a different looking Lobo team. And you guys really, really care. This is going to be fun on Saturday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Lobos are coming off a really nice win, 84-63 on the road in Dallas against SMU. They're 3-0, and their second-year head coach Richard Pitino joins us this morning on the 377 Brewery Hotline. Good morning, Richard. How you living?
Doing great. Appreciate you guys having me on.
No, appreciate you spending some time with us. You feel the buzz? I don't know how isolated you are. Sometimes coaches get into the season and you get in your bubble, but do you feel the buzz around town a little bit around this team and around this game?
Yeah, I mean, certainly you do. There's things that, as a coach, you need to be aware of to obviously push from a marketing standpoint, just to help. I know certainly we're trying hard to sell it out, and we're getting close. It's kind of amazing how long it's been since we've sold out the Pit. Yeah. It's the records are a little bit hard at times, but it's been a couple of years, and now obviously we had a pandemic, so that certainly factors into it. So there's a great buzz. I'm not a big social media guy in the sense of reading mentions and all that. Like, I don't do all that, but I know people are fired up about it. It's a great rivalry. We played a phenomenal game versus SMU, which really helps. I mean, at the end of the day, you want people to care. You got to win and you got to play well. And currently we've done that. So fired up, obviously, for tomorrow. 3 games in,
it's a small sample size. And one of your things, and I really appreciate this, you don't get too high and too low, but you did play well the other day. That was a really impressive road victory. And I think that's what you want your team to look like. You played really good defense. You inside, outside, your bigs were good, your guards were good, your depth was nice. I know you're not going to get too fired up, but I got to believe that's kind of along the lines of what you want your team to look like all year.
Yeah, I tell you what, I try really hard not to get real emotional and try not to be very, very outcome-oriented, although I know the profession is about winning, and if you don't win enough games, they're going to tell you to move on. But with that being said, that was about as complete a performance as I've been a part of as a head coach. I told my team this yesterday. Louisville had a team that ended up winning the national title. They beat Duke. It was when Kevin Ware broke his leg on national TV. Obviously, it was a very emotional experience. But Coach K had a comment after the game about Louisville that they just kind of boom you. And all of a sudden, a game that's like 5 points turns into 20 like it's nothing. And it kind of caught on in Louisville about, I forget what they called them, the boom squad or whatever it was, but we had that a little bit. Like we just took off, and all of a sudden the lead built, and we would run faster, and we would be more aggressive in the passing lanes, and we would post up harder. I tried to tell the guys over and over again, like, we're going to get you ready to play, but it's on you guys to get better as the game goes on. And I thought versus SMU, we truly showed that. So it was a great win, but I told our guys after the game, I said, okay, sometimes, very oftentimes, actually, it's harder to deal with success than it is failure, because although I try to stay off of social media, they don't. And I said this in my press conference yesterday, it's a drug. We've all got young kids, and we all sit there when we get criticized as coaches and we say, oh, we block out the noise and we don't listen to that. Well, to me, there's no difference between criticism and praise. It's all the same. So you have to find a way to block out that noise. Be appreciative, but block it out and move on. And so we had a good practice yesterday, so hope we have the same thing today.
He's Lobo men's basketball coach Richard Pitino. Lobos and Aggies, 5 o'clock in the Pit tomorrow.
Richard, yesterday KJ said that the front court, they're like hyenas in transition. How have Morris and Josiah opened up things overall offensively for this team and make life easier, but give you different things on that end?
I showed them a clip that I saw yesterday from the Minnesota Timberwolves where Rudy Gobert comes down the court, sets a drag ball screen, gets a switch, and he posts up deep in the lane, and D'Angelo Russell shoots a three instead of throwing it into him. And you can see Gobert very upset about it. And then the next possession, Gobert doesn't rotate to block a shot. And I said to them, guys, the biggest thing that divides a team is when you have a big guy that sprints the court, posts up, running hard, and you don't throw him the ball. So credit to Morris and credit to Josiah. They just kept running and kept posting up, regardless of getting the ball or not. So we missed them a couple times. But the energy that they play with it just obviously fuels our team, and it's going to help them down the road with their careers.
And you look at, you've talked about the moments that you want to be better defensively. How key is it to be able to finish those defensive possessions with rebounds as you're able to start growing and locking in on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, rebounding is, sometimes you think of defense and you kind of neglect rebounding, but rebounding is maybe one of your best defensive attributes. You know, you got to finish the possession. You can't give them second chance points. And we did a really good job of that. I mean, we've gotten so much better the last 2 games, and we can still get significantly better as we grow. You know, but when you look at a box score, we were +1, which was great. We didn't get a lot of offensive rebounds, but I think a lot of that was we were 53%. Right. And we're not, what I like is we're not shooting as many threes, although I like the 3-ball because we're around the basket a little bit more. You know, we've charted in our 3 games plus our exhibition game, we're 64% at the rim. We're 50% of post-ups. The majority of our shots need to come from there. But the biggest thing you have to do is you got to play scrappy defense, but you can't give them second chance points. So we rebounded the ball well the last 2 games. Hopefully we continue to improve on that as the bodies get bigger.
He's global basketball coach Richard Pitino with us on the opening drive. All right, the rivalry part of this thing, and understanding that almost everybody from their coaching staff and their roster is turned over from last year. I saw the video from the end of the game last year, and this week I looked at it. I kind of was watching you and some of the players, and as that whole scene was playing out and watching your reaction, their reaction. Does that come up at all this week when you talk about what this rivalry means and what they did last year on your court? Or is that just for everybody with a microphone and a pen?
Yeah, I think it's for everybody with a microphone and a pen. Now, I mean, it's a cool storyline, right? I mean, your rival comes in, he makes a shot, a no-look shot at the buzzer. I mean, I've always said if you don't like the way the opponent who beats you celebrates, don't let him beat you. So the bottom line is throughout that whole thing, I coached my own team. There's always learning experiences for your locker room, you know, whether you show them film of a game you play in, of how you're going to act and how you're going to represent yourself moving forward. So it would be probably a little bit different. I'd lie and say it wasn't if they had a lot of guys back that were on that court, but they're all gone, you know, and that's kind of the landscape of college basketball and college sports because of the transfer portal and coaches change jobs and so on. So I don't need a lot of extra motivation to win games. This game is just as important as SMU and just as important as Jacksonville State. That may annoy fans, but I hope our fans understand, like, I put the same amount of effort and energy into winning every game. It doesn't matter who we play. So it's an awesome rivalry. It's probably one of the more underrated rivalries, I think, in all of college basketball. I think a lot of people would be very surprised to know that we're going to get close to 15,000, you know, for a non-conference game. Not a lot of college basketball teams do that. So a lot of learning experiences. And I coach my team. I have a hard enough time coaching my own guys. I can't coach 2 teams.
Fair enough. Looking around the league, this league's had impressive wins this week. The Colorado State beats an SEC team in South Carolina by 32 yesterday. San Diego State goes on the road and beats Stanford. UNLV beats the 21st ranked team in the country in Dayton. This league's getting some impressive wins, which should really help down the line. I know you're looking at scores, maybe not specifically at teams, maybe you are, but I know you notice that it's kind of a big deal for the Lobos and for this league.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you know, I don't think we're a mid-major basketball league, but, you know, I understand why people may refer to us as that at times. But when you look at a league last year with 11 teams that had 4 teams in the NCAA tournament, 1 in the NIT, it's almost half your leagues in the postseason. So the key to doing that and the key to staying in a multi-bid league is the non-conference. Because if you're winning big games in the non-conference in your league, so you have to schedule big. You got to schedule against really good teams to get those quality wins. Well, then now when you if we beat a San Diego State, that's a quality win. If we beat a Colorado State, so you're rooting for your league, although they're all rivalries, like you want them to have great games in the non-conference so that your strength of schedule and your resume is better. So I always have our video guy print out all the box scores for me of opponents that we play, and we're always rooting for the Mountain West. I think the Mountain West is maybe the most underrated basketball league in the country. We have consistently been better than the Pac-12. We've got great fan bases, we've got great coaches, and we've got great players. So we got to continue to keep it going, to do our part to make sure that the metrics are really, really good for all these teams going into conference play.
Now, Richard, when you talk about the message that you want to send to your team, focus on coaching your team, how big is it when you have your top players that come out and they echo the same thing? Jamal Mashburn said, we're not mentioning what happened last year at all. We're just focused on ourselves. How key is that when your top players are able to echo that message to everyone else?
Well, I think it's my job to not make my players robots by any means, but to make sure they understand where all of our heads are at going into each game. I think nobody better in sports than Bill Belichick of creating the same message from top to bottom so we're all in alignment. And I told our guys, don't get caught up in hitting a shot and celebrating with the crowd. The objective is to beat New Mexico State. That's it. So, yes, we want to sell out the pit. And, yes, it is a rivalry game. We've got to focus on what our job is. So the message has got to be – that's what coaching is all about. Coaching is all about, and leadership is all about, being consistent across the board in your locker room and having total clarity as to where our heads are going to be at. Sometimes it's hard to play in front of, an emotional home crowd because you get distracted. So we've really, really been focusing on that more than anything. And I think KJ and Jamal are two phenomenal representatives of kind of fostering what the message is going forward.
Lastly, what does New Mexico State, when you look at them on tape, they played an emotional rivalry game, lost by 3 at the Haskins Center. They're athletic. Greg's got a bunch of guys that he's trying to figure out what he's got. He's putting them together. They played together for 3 games. You look at them on tape. What are they bringing in? What's the challenge?
Yeah, they're certainly very, very talented. They're totally different than last year. Pinson and Washington are talented players. They're athletic. They play hard. They play with great energy. UTEP did to them last game what they did to us. They're just – UTEP is long, quick, disruptive. So it's kind of hard to really have a true gauge of the team because, they play in this different style game versus UTEP. They play New Mexico Highlands where they win by 50. So we'll kind of see. I know that Greg will have them ready. I know they're really talented, and I know it's an important game. So, we know that we're going to be in a battle. We know it's not going to be easy, but it'll be rewarding if we find a way to pull out on top.
Appreciate the time. Always appreciate the conversation. Have fun tomorrow. The atmosphere should be really, really, really nice. And good luck against the Aggies. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, Richard. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Be well. Richard Pitino, the head basketball coach at the University of New Mexico. So you can get into all that. There's so much there. One of the things he said that I want to get into, I coach my team, right? I can't worry about somebody else. And I think it would have been easy to get caught up in, the message being, oh, we remember that. Now that kind of stuff sticks in our craw. We remember that. Now maybe they do. And I'm going to guess maybe there's a little bit in that locker room. But outwardly, I'll coach my team and let somebody else worry about theirs. Respond to what Richard Pitino had to say when we come back at 505-246-0610. I trust International Protective Service to watch my home. IPS. Hundreds of homeowners, hundreds of business owners around Albuquerque do the same thing because the bad guys are out there. Property crime's on the rise. Officer shortage continues to be an issue, and you want to protect what you've worked so hard to build. I called IPS years ago. They come by my house every day. Not just when I'm not there. They come by every day. When I go away, they offer to pick up the mail, roll up the garbage cans on garbage day. If there's newspapers, packages, whatever it is, they just look out for your home. Neighbors have peace of mind. My family has peace of mind. And then the few times that we've needed them to do something, respond to an alarm when it went off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes. When we left the garage door open at night, they sat out there in front, made sure nobody came in until somebody came down and closed the garage door. They look out for you. Call them, see what they can do. It's affordable private security. IPS's number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Come on! All right, we got a sweet deal coming up for you in just a few minutes. 505-246-0610. You responded to what Richard Patino had to say. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ 505-246-0610. A. Marie's producing for us. We'll get you a sweet deal here that you're going to want to know about. Let's do this. I'm just looking at the time on this. All right, dare I? All right, Lenny. Good morning to you. Hello, Lenny.
Morning. Well, this is the Packers last night lost. Rodgers has twofold blame on this. One, he played bad, and two, that $50 million salary preventing the team from going out and re-signing Davante Adams or anything else that resembles a comparable receiver.
All right. First of all, if Davante Adams was there, it wouldn't matter because he wouldn't. I mean, he missed his receivers. I don't care he was throwing the ball to. If he's throwing them wide, high into the ground, even Davante Adams isn't catching those balls.
No, but I'm just talking about in the season as a whole.
Okay.
They have had really bad receivers. But when you make that much money,
yep,
and then you can't sign anyone else, the blame falls on your lap.
I think the blame falls on
and
his
the
lap.
fact that in the off season he didn't want to train with the new guys like Mahomes and all the other people do, that shows you're a selfish player.
It's on him. Yeah, this is on him.
Yes.
Yep.
And also congratulations to the Titans offensive coordinator. Nothing like getting a DUI after a good win.
So you got off the plane and went home at 6:30 in the morning, got pulled over. Is that what you're hearing?
I thought it was I just read it on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. All right, cool.
Yeah, so that was good. So let's go with some quick picks. I'm not going to pick the Lobos or anything because it's just Danny's just heading to his funeral, so we'll leave that. So let's go with the Chargers and the Chiefs Sunday night. They get back Keenan Williams. They get back Keenan Allen and Michael Williams.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I'm going to pray this is their revenge game, and they realize the season is on the line, and they pull the upset.
Ooh, a lot of people pulling the Chargers. Okay.
Okay. Now the Vikings and the Cowboys. Everyone has said the Vikings have a weak schedule and all this other stuff. You're playing the Cowboys. At the end of the day, they choke a lot. You have to give Kirk Cousins, Thielen, Cook, Justin Jefferson, and the coaching staff credit for what they're doing with their team.
100%.
With a quarterback that's borderline top 15 sometimes, maybe top 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the Vikings pulling the upset.
Sweet.
Even at home, even though they're at home.
All right. I don't hate that. I hope that. I kind of want to tell. I'm just telling you. The only reason I'm going the other way is it just feels like a game the Cowboys win every year.
Okay.
And get you excited.
Monday night, 40. Well, I'll save the Monday night game for Monday. We won't get too far ahead. And then after that, I mean, you look at the rest of the game, Bears and Falcons. I'm going to glue my eyes shut. The Bills and Browns, that was a decent game only because it would have been more fun playing in 4 feet of snow, but they moved it to Detroit.
So they could play. All right, I got to go get the sweet deal.
And the Jets will upset the Patriots.
The Jets will.
And finally get over that hump.
Finally. Isn't that what you told me 3 weeks ago?
I know, but I have to keep saying that and believing in it.
You keep saying it, and one day you'll be right.
Just like I believe in the Chargers. Sooner or later, they have to be Belichick.
And one day you'll be right. Enjoy the weekend. I got to move. Thanks, Lenny. Right, if you keep saying it. See, I told you. Even though you're wrong 15 times. I told you. All right, we got a sweet deal for you. You like tomasitas?
Yes.
Do you like real corn, real New Mexico chile? Real meat, real honey. That's what Tomasitas Restaurant has been serving since 1974. That's when Tomasita Leba opened her restaurant, and she made everything from scratch using her grandmother's recipes. And to this day, that's still the Tomasitas way. You go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. At 9 o'clock, click on the sweet deal icon, and you can get a sweet deal. $50 worth of Tomasitas for just $25. Dee is here from Tomasitas to talk about it. Good morning, Dee. How you living?
Good morning. Living large. How are you?
Well, after talking about Tomasitas, I'm kind of hungry now. But life's grooving. Talk about what you got going over there because you got it rocking at Tomasitas, and people need to take advantage of this.
Absolutely. It's a great deal. We're ready for the holidays with red and green coming to you hot and fresh every day.
You got margaritas, you got cervezas, you got the big, giant, mega oversized burritos and smothered enchiladas, and it's a great spot. And I got to believe if you're looking for holiday parties, you still haven't booked it yet. Are you still open for it? You're in that business, aren't you?
We are. We have a large party room that accommodates up to 100, but get in early. We're filling up fast. Margaritas are flowing. We have swirls, frogs. All of our margaritas made from scratch, just like our food.
Just like it should be. You're right there on I-25 in Jefferson in front of the Century Rio 24. Open every day for lunch and dinner. Make this part of your lunch rotation, your dinner rotation. D, anything else they need to know?
Just come on in and book your parties and come in and celebrate with us.
Beautiful, D. Happy holidays to you. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for spending some time with us. See you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
D, that's D with Tomasitas. Again, our sweet deal, 9 o'clock, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. $50 worth of Tomasitas for just $25. It's a great deal. All right, we're going back to phones when we get back. Got to hit this break. If you're there, I know you want to talk Global basketball. Global basketball's got a little buzz to it, doesn't it? Somebody on the text line says, "There's no buzz, Jeff." Okay.
Get out your basement.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
The sports animal.
All right. Somebody asked you for an early hoe. Is this considered early?
Give me a hoe if
Bandit.
you got your funky bus fare. Coming down the street, moving dirty fast, so kind of shuffle your feet. Get on the bus, pay your fare, then tell the driver that you're going to a double Dutch affair.
Heard you're lowering the music. Shutting me up already. It was like
No,
the
I
Academy Awards. Getting
No,
getting
I
off
wanted
the
to give
stage.
you your solo. Your solo hoe.
I was just eating Reese's Pieces during the break. I felt a little like a
That was
little
still pretty
sugar
impressive.
melt.
It's near your average time.
Yeah, it was average. Kind of like Reese's Pieces. I said Reese's Pieces are good. JJ says, "Well, controversial take. They're not that good." I said, "Well, but they're still good." He's like,
Yeah.
"They're not Reese's." And
People
they're not,
overrate them because of Reese's.
well, it's like
They're not as good as peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah, but
Peanut
they're
butter
still
M&Ms
good.
are the best.
They're still good.
They're not as good as a regular Reese's.
Right. And I said, Kirk Cousins isn't as good as Patrick Mahomes, and he's not as good as Josh Allen,
He's a
but he's still pretty
Reese-a-Piece.
good.
He's a
Properly
Reese-a-Piece.
rated.
Right? He's like, they're overrated. I said, no,
Dak.
but they're appropriately
A lot of
rated.
people overrate them. 'cause
So Ryan Tannehill and Dak and
Reese's in
Kirk
front of
Cousins are Reese Pieces.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Hey, Ken, happy Friday. How you living, Ken? Thanks for holding.
Good, good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
What's happening?
Yeah, so Lobo basketball, I was watching that SMU game, trying to find a weakness to this basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not find a weakness on this basketball team right now.
They didn't have one on. They didn't have one on Tuesday. On Tuesday, they were really good. And Patino said, "What do you say? That was as good a game as they've had, right?" I mean, that's as good a game as they played. If you're looking for one thing, they got to find a fifth guy to be the guy, right? They've got two good guards, two good big guys. Is it KJ? Who's going to be their fifth guy that you rely on?
Yeah, but I mean, even saying that, when you have House coming out of the game, you have Mashburn coming out of the game, and we increased our lead.
Mm-hmm.
They came out, we were up by 16. When they came back in, we were up by 17. We actually increased our lead with the bench. So I'm, Patino says we've got to defend without fouling. Okay, cool, because that's what they did the first two games. But you look at this SMU game, he corrected it.
Yeah.
They did not foul. They weren't in foul trouble, and he corrected it. And that's what you want to see as a coach. He identifies a problem, and then he goes out and solves it. And I just think right now the sky's the limit. Javonte, we haven't seen Javonte yet.
Yeah, that's right.
And if Javonte gets going, I don't know, man. This could be a pretty good year where top 2 or 3
could be really
and
good.
maybe make have a chance to make the NCAA tournament. I wasn't sure about this year, but now I'm like, I don't see any weaknesses. Do you guys see anything that is a concern moving forward?
Not glaring.
Yeah. No, Ken, if they stay healthy, they have a chance to be really good. And Dent's going to develop, and Forsley's going to get better, and Tovar's going to get better. Ken, I agree with you, and appreciate the call. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll talk next week. I think they have a chance to be really good.
And that's why I'm not worried about Javonte Johnson. Like, he'll have his moments, but guess what? He's a role player.
That's right.
It's
and
length.
He's accepted that.
He's someone they're going to, we need you to play really good defense against bigger guards in this conference, because right now you're getting scoring from your 2 front court players, your 2 starting backcourt players. Then KJ Jenkins will chip in off the bench. Jalen Tovar can have his moments. Donovan Dent can come in. And so that's the rotation of, finding that 5th person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're filling holes night in and night out.
It might be a different guy every night.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm not concerned that Javonte Johnson isn't scoring a bunch of points when the 4 other starters have been really good so far.
Totally agree. All right, big weekend in SoCal. Hail to the Bruins of Westwood wearing blue and gold. Hello, James. How are you?
Good morning.
What's happening?
Let's do it. 8 o'clock. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight, fight, fight. Yo.
How you feel better? I'm not sure I do. All right.
Got it all out.
All right. Big one.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys have a good one.
See you.
Take care.
Later.
That was perfect timing at the end of the song.
SC
He's on the bus
at the Rose Bowl.
He's on the bus to go
the spread on
go
that?
try to beat USC. I think it's
SC 2.5.
Yeah. Woo!
Trojans are going to beat them. Yes. Although, you know what, though?
I don't know.
Let me just tell you. The trend, the cycle that is the Pac-12, UCLA will win that game, right? Everybody who's got a chance has lost. And SC's the last team with a chance to get in the CFP. And that means UCLA would beat them somewhere along the way. UCLA beat them last year, right? Chip Kelly got them. It's a big game, man. I've always loved the SC UCLA game. They both wear darks, so you got the kind of the Cardinal against the Blues. Like, I love the dark on dark look. I'm big on that. But yeah, we'll see. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. All right, text line 505-246-0610. Wait, let me read this. It's an email I wanted to read you that says excitement, because I've told you there's excitement, right? And you feel it. Mike says
ticket sales, man.
Well, that's right. Mike says excitement. Really, Jeff Alou? I'm having delusional Aggie fans tell me they aren't even watching the New Mexico State Lobo basketball because they think they're going to see an upset against Missouri on the U. Jason, Jerome, where are you? It's from Mike. All right, Mike. I mean, you live in your world. I live in mine. The ticket sales are telling you there's a buzz. The phones are telling me there's a buzz. The people with whom I speak,
I think what he's saying is Aggie fans are like, oh, this is about football right now.
Because they've won 3 in a row? Oh, just because you wouldn't know what it's like to win 3 in a row? I mean, what? They've won 3 football games in a row. They got a little excitement. They're on ESPNU on prime time tomorrow night, and they're playing Missouri. Now they may get pumped. I'd love to see them play competitively. You think they're going to get beat by 30, right?
I think they're going to lose the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't see a dramatic upset.
Yeah. But at least they've got something. I mean, they're not eliminated from bowl contention yet.
Nope.
And they've got something to play for, and it's still football season for them, is what he's
and yet,
telling you.
well, it'd be different if they were playing this game at the Pan American Center.
That might be right too. No, that might be right too. Can I'd actually like to keep an eye on that football game. How's my Wi-Fi
service
in the pit? Can I do that? Ruben, good morning. Hello, Ruben.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, first of all, I wanted to say that caller last about Patino's team. I agree 100%. My only concern is the big man getting in trouble.
Foul trouble.
But my question today was, did you get to see Boise and Colorado State? And I wanted to get an opinion what you thought of that game if you saw it. Thank you.
All right, see you. Are we talking? So I saw Colorado State play South Carolina, and I thought they looked terrific. I did not see Boise State play against Charlotte. Did you watch any of that?
Yes.
And so I yield to you.
They were bad in the first half on both ends of the floor. I'd tell you, ended up scoring 11 points.
Yeah, they were down 28-11 at halftime. So they just went cold. I mean, look, teams have cold halves. Remember when the Lobos
missed shots, weren't executing. Then you watched that firsthand the other night. Is you get cold and then you start getting an ISO basketball and you start trying to force things and
everybody's going to be a hero.
Steamrolls.
Yeah. All right, so they'll get a chance to go back at it. They get Tulsa tonight. Remember when the Lobos played Villanova in the NCAA tournament? Mm-hmm. It came out ice cold. Remember years ago, Kenny Thomas's senior year, they played Missouri second round of the NCAA tournament. We're down 17-0. You know, I mean, sometimes it just steamrolls. You can't make a shot. So I didn't see them. I will tell you, I was impressed. Now watch Colorado State get run out of the building by Charleston today. It's a home game for Charleston. We'll see. But look, they beat an SEC team and basically a road game, wouldn't you say? I mean, Columbia is an hour away from Charleston, hour 15 minutes. And they beat them in South Carolina yesterday afternoon, by 32 points without their best player. I mean, I don't care what you tell me. That's impressive. So, wow, South Carolina's down, and they're okay.
Beat them like that is very impressive.
Yeah. 505-246-0610. I got a ton of correspondence from you. Want to hear from you today. Lobos Aggies tomorrow. Aztecs and Lobos tonight in football. Ladies get a Pac-12 team in the pit on Sunday. You got a full slate of NFL. You got game last night, Titans and Raiders. You got the Cowboys against the Vikings right now, who are the number 2 seed in the NFC. Like, you've got and you got high school football semifinals this weekend. If you don't have something to talk about, you're listening to the wrong format. Give us a call at 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop the Black Friday sale for the gift.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball in.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out. He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Smashed it up. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line. So this is the start here. He's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it. He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it.
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Places this morning, you've got a lot of opinions. 'Tis your opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports. Apple, Jefferson, Bieta, J. Buck, A. Marie. Adrian's producing on television. JJ's got the big pregame shows. Is that what you're prepping for over there? Is that what your fingers are doing, dancing across the keyboards? You got a lot of broadcasts this weekend. You got the pregame show, the postgame show tonight. You got Sunday Lobo women's basketball here on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, busy weekend.
Big weekend. All right. I told you there was that group that was looking into the Jeff Saturday hire, the group for equal hiring of coaches. Text line says, I wish everyone would leave Jeff Saturday alone. Irsay hired him because he's an all-pro and has the respect of the players. It's not like he has done nothing. He also tells me Williamson County's in Tennessee. Williamson County is where the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans got arrested. What was it this morning? Right? Breaking news this morning, Todd Downing, who was all over my TV last night, or at least my computer screen, the offensive coordinator of the Titans, arrested early this morning, charged with DUI in Williamson County, Texas. Taken in at 4:39 this morning. So I mean, it's got to be. They had a little celebration on the plane going back, right? And he landed and was driving home and popped. That sucks for him and for, well, I mean, shouldn't have done it. I mean, I'm not excusing it. It's just it's a bad situation, period, right?
Have someone pick you up.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you anybody did it
you
wrong.
know you're coming home
it's
late.
on you, dude.
You're gonna be popping them.
Yeah,
in the plane.
Yeah, it's on you, 100%.
It feels like that's something too the team might
consider getting
like,
rides.
all right, guys, do we need
Yeah.
rides available to set some up?
And that might be something for every team to look at.
Yeah.
No, seriously. This also says if they wanted to check on coaches hiring, check on the Raiders circus. Now the rumor is John Gruden's coming back in 2023. That's a circus. Is that the rumor? That John Gruden's going back to the Raiders?
No. Someone could have said it on their text feed with a friend.
I think this
social
person
media.
is starting a rumor.
Yeah, it's not a rumor
That
I've
is
heard.
not a rumor. That is not happening.
Okay. I've not heard that. Now, Al Davis giving Josh McDaniels, the Raiders owner, giving the coach the vote of confidence the other day feels like the kiss of death. But
I don't know. It's because this is one where you have to look at egos.
And the owner's ego.
Mark Davis, that was his guy.
Totally.
And he went all in.
Yep.
New GM, new head coach. And is he going to, after 1 year, tell the world he was wrong?
Even though the world knows he's wrong? Even though, I mean, the world's looking at him, staring at him, that knows he's wrong?
Yeah, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams this week, too, come out and say they're still fully behind their head coach, which...
They have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all you can do, and you wouldn't expect Derek Carr to do anything else at this point.
Now, somebody's got to say they're completely behind Derek Carr in that organization. Text line says, Lenny going to the dark side. I love it. Skull Vikings. Lenny was on your team, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure if I like that or not, but yeah, he is.
This says, Jeff, you cracked me up. LOL for 15 minutes. How far does Ruidoso football team have to travel to the Dairy Queen in Raton? Only in New Mexico. Yesterday's discussion. Yeah, we had that discussion yesterday. It is only in New Mexico. That the 6 seed's going to have to go to the 2 seed because they got a better Dairy Queen. Do you think they got a better Dairy Queen in Ruidoso or Raton? I'm not even sure. I mean, both probably have a pretty good Dairy Queen. More traffic up I-25 going through Raton.
Yeah.
But I'll bet the one in Ruidoso is pretty nice. Just saying.
Is it a Dairy Queen or is it Tasty Freeze in Doritos?
You know what? They could have both.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a real good chance they have both. All right, you wanted some Omar? Dallas
Yes,
Cowboys.
I do.
Dallas Cowboys 30, Vikings 13. Jeff, the battle of the NFL's $8 billion franchise versus the 8-cent
13.
franchise.
13
He
points.
called you the 8-cent franchise. I'm planning to be hearing a lot of Charlie Pride.
13
If
points.
we
That's what he's
don't,
giving us?
if we don't win, it's time for Elon Musk or Coach Jones to clean the house. Kind of cute.
Only doing the Vikes 13 points?
That's what he gave you, 13 points. I mean,
Okay.
I just read them.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Got a bunch more for you. Final hour of our work week's coming up. We'll get into Lobo football tonight, more NFL, your correspondence, Lobos Aggies this weekend. Got an MVP in the National League yesterday. Oh, and then there's this. The World Cup starts on Monday. And so we're going to get everybody in Qatar and then say, you know what, though? You don't get to drink beer in the stadium.
That's insane.
What the hell? Oh, that's going to go well. Soccer. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. Don't sweat the technique. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cindietta, and JJ Bach.
So I'm literally, now I'm concerned, can they have a World Cup?
Without drinking?
I mean, are you allowed, can you have an international football match without beer? Isn't that as essential as the ball itself?
What do you think
and maybe
people
the
are
pitch?
doing? It's gonna be
what the hell
it's
is
gonna
going
be
on?
quite the pregame.
Be careful, man, because don't have more than one, or they'll.
Oh, they're going to be throwing so many people in the drunk tanks. That is jail, but they just call it their drunk tank.
That's what they're calling them. Yeah. All right. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Amory, and Adrian. So, World Cup starts Sunday, right? U.S. plays. Is it Monday?
U.S. plays on Monday
against Wales. Qatar, the host country. Or Qatar. What are we calling it? Which way do we want to go? Can I go Qatar? I've heard Qatar. I've heard both. Qatar has now, last minute, banned the sale of beer in its stadiums. So, JJ, you and I have been reading a number of reports, and some of the language has been really, 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 really confusing. New York Times is reporting, Tariq Panja's story, that beer is out at World Cup stadiums. That Qatar... the officials in Qatar have decided that the only drinks that will be on sale to fans at games during the World Cup will be non-alcoholic. This comes 2 days before the opening match. It was confirmed today by FIFA, the world governing body of football, the tournament's owner. Quote from, who's this quote from? From FIFA. Following discussions between host country authorities and FIFA, a decision has been made to focus on the sale of alcoholic beverages on the FIFA Fan Festival and other destinations and licensed venues, removing sales points of beer from Qatar's FIFA World Cup 2022 stadium perimeters. So basically, the ban on beer. I mean, honestly, can you even have an international soccer match without beer?
They're gonna have Budweiser Zero.
So Budweiser has this like $75 million sponsorship. How much are they getting back? I mean, I understand it's all about signage and but it's also about selling freaking beer, isn't it?
Do you think
everybody likes to sell their product?
Do you think they told people 2 days before because they already had their travel plans?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you do it now.
Yes. You think the Qatari government just, you know what? I'm thinking now maybe no beer. Yes.
And this, guess what? In Jurgen Klopp, he's the manager of Liverpool. It was this week or last week. He had a great, I should say, a rant on this because the reporters were questioning him and the players and like, you know, the stuff that's going on. Are you going to invest in this? And he's like, hold up. Y'all had 4 years to realize how wrong this was. When the head of FIFA...
10 years. They gave it to him 10 years ago. But yeah.
But the last 4 or 5 years when we saw, you know, the head of FIFA go down, it all comes out. You knew that it was bribery. You knew it was money involved, why they were
everything about it's filthy.
This World Cup.
Yeah.
And Jurgen Klopp was like, don't be screaming about it now. Y'all didn't do anything for 4 years. You didn't raise these questions until now. And you reap what you sow. And the soccer world did nothing about this. They had plenty of time to change this. If FIFA actually cared and felt like they made changes to the most important aspects of their tournament, it would not be here. So this stuff, this is what you get.
No, 100%. Now, the Qatari government had made promises, verbal promises that they were going to do things, right? And this is just the latest and really a dramatic change. There's been tensions, to your point, for 4 years, but really in the last few months. So Qatar, and for those of you who don't know where it is, it's a Middle Eastern country. It's a conservative Muslim nation, and the sale of alcohol in that country is tightly controlled. But you've got a $75 million sponsorship agreement with Budweiser. Fans who are already there and are just somehow becoming just like they're surprised at the restrictions, the costs, the inconveniences that are around holding this event in that country. And you've got organizers now scrambling in the last couple of days before this goes. But here's where people are worried about, you guys. So FIFA has faced like all this criticism for all these years for the decision, as JJ was just telling you, to bring this tournament, the biggest sporting event in the world, right?
Yes.
Okay. They bring it to Qatar. And now FIFA is not in control of their own tournament anymore. They're not in control of their own major decisions. And this is obvious. And what's crazy about this is if you go back to 2003 when Brazil was hosting the World Cup, FIFA had to kind of pressure the Brazilian government to permit beer to be sold in stadium, because that not in 2003. In Brazil, they banned stadium sales of beer in 2003. The FIFA organization had to pressure the Brazilian government to let beer be sold for World Cup matches. So now in Qatar, FIFA's bowed to the demands of the host country. And there's people now who are really worried about the possibilities. And this is where I was telling you, JJ, these other promises that are counter to the local laws and customs in Qatar. We're talking about things like freedom of the press, protests in the streets, the rights of LGBTQ plus visitors. All of these are contrary to Qatar tradition and or law, but the Qatari officials and government have said, nope, we're gonna relax on all that. And now everybody's worried. Well, wait a minute. You said we're going to relax on the beer thing. What if there's a same-sex couple walking down the street holding hands? Because in that country, from everything I understand, that is illegal. Mm-hmm. And they have said that, well, but we're going to allow that for the World Cup. If you are a same-sex couple and you are in Qatar, do you feel comfortable right now?
No, you shouldn't have even traveled there in the first place. Like, that's not. Like, this is one where, from a fan standpoint, you want to watch World Cup. No one should have traveled to that country for the World Cup.
Soccer, man. I mean, I with all due respect, and I get it, this is the world's most popular game. They can't get out of their own way. You want to tell me how Major League Baseball screws things up all the time? FIFA is a jacked up organization. Yep. And I get it. You're dealing with a whole globe worth of entities, right? It's really, I'm not telling you it's easy. Believe me, I'm not telling you this isn't a guy with microphones saying I could run it better. But man, did they step on themselves a lot.
It should have never have taken place here, because it's not even in the quote unquote World Cup season. This is in the middle of seasons.
Right.
Like, teams were playing league games a week ago. 7 days ago.
But that's not unlike the Olympics. Now,
no,
hockey stops their
the World
season.
Cup's not this way.
No, it's not. I know.
The World
Cup's
always
typically
in the summer.
played this summer when you're out of
your
the
season ends.
Right. No,
there's a month and a half.
But because it was going to be 190 degrees there, I'm kidding.
It should have never been played.
I agree.
You have players that have missed out on playing in the World Cup, not even for serious injury, just because they suffered a knock 2 weeks ago, and they can't turn around in time when you're in the middle of competing for your leagues and Champions League, Europa League, everything that's going on. And then it's like, boom, here's one of the most important tournaments of your soccer career that we're dropping down in the middle of all these other seasons. It was bad from the get-go. They could see it coming. And now everyone that's complaining, you got nothing to complain about. If you're FIFA, this is what you signed up for.
All right, this will piss you off even more if you're the common folk. So the ban on alcohol consumption seems to only apply to fans attending games. Beer and other drinks, so there's an official FIFA champagne and some selected wines, will still be available in stadium luxury suites reserved for FIFA officials and other wealthy guests. Does that piss you off more? Common folk who travel from England, Scotland, Russia, Japan, Korea, pick your country around the globe. And this comes a week after there was this earlier edict that there were all these tents that were set up, beer tents bearing Budweiser's branding, were moved to more discreet locations at the World Cup's 8 stadiums, away from where most of the crowds attending the game would pass. They get what they deserve. Now, you may tell me once they kick the ball off on Sunday that everything's going to be fine, and it's like it kind of feels like the Russian Olympics. Remember when they were in Sochi? And there was all the human rights.
You'll be distracted enough by the games. You'll be distracted by the results and games and competition that nobody's going to talk about all this crap and all the hundreds and hundreds of people who died slave labor building these stadiums, right? You may tell me that, but this is disgusting. And they get what they deserve. Marty, good morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fortunate. You know, I'm a soccer fan. It's unfortunate that that's how we talk about soccer, and that's the main. Like, I'll hear that story now, the same story you guys are talking about, right? Versus really breaking down the groups, the players. That's what we really should be talking about. But it's unfortunate because I already heard it on CBS this morning, and I'm like, okay, this is your coverage of the World Cup. This is what you're going to go on I just, as a soccer fan, I'm like, yeah, I get it, but then don't play in the World Cup then. If you're so against it, USA, don't play in it. Or Mexico or whoever.
Yeah, it's tough because it's
as a soccer fan purist, I'm like, this is the only time you talk about soccer.
That's right. That's right.
Because they did it to themselves.
But this is on them, Marty. This is on them, man. This is nobody doing it to them. And I'm not gonna lie. If you want to break down the Costa Rica versus Ivory Coast match, go ahead. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to know that. But they did this to themselves. This is a big story.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think that's the sport. I think that's the world we live in, right? I think it's these premier events. You're talking about the suites and all that. I think the Super Bowl's getting there. That's just the world we live in.
But the common folks going to be able to buy a $20 beer sitting in the upper deck.
It's going to get to the point where it's just crazy. And then it's democracy at its best because money will rule the day, and that's just the way it goes. And there was a story beyond that before that in the 2014 World Cup. There's all kinds of game fixing.
Mm-hmm.
There were about 8 matches that they pointed to that were probably fixed. And fixed in the terms of the officiating having so much control and calling offsides when it wasn't offsides or not calling offside. That was actually confirmed. So that was an issue before the 2018 World Cup. So yeah, there's always something with the World Cup. But
all right, man. Well, enjoy the matches.
Yep.
See you. Look, if somebody wants to call in, I don't know who's Ivory Coast playing the first round.
This is not just here we go. People don't understand soccer. It's FIFA did this to themselves by not changing a bad decision when they figured out, there were just a bunch of bribes and money passed along to be playing this World Cup in this country.
Budweiser put out a tweet that says, well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
This is a tweet out there. Yeah. This is awkward. World Cup put out, tournament organizers appreciate Anheuser-Busch InBev's understanding and continues to support our joint commitment to cater for everyone. Yeah, okay. This is kind of weird. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm not going. If I want to watch the World Cup and I can have a beer. You know why? Because I live in America. I can have my beer. I can even have a bourbon if I want. You got to have beer when you watch soccer, though, right? What time's USA play on Monday?
Noon.
Okay. Big noon match on Monday. Big noon matchup. All right, or you can watch on your computer if it's working. Business owners, you get it. Your computer, your network, remote access, it's all vital to how you watch soccer, how your business operates every day. Hackers threaten everything about your business. ABQIT provides state-of-the-art cybersecurity. More and more business owners are now realizing that is a necessary part of protecting your data. ABQIT created a business model. It gives you peace of mind knowing your system's secure. They watch for any activity that's malicious. They protect your operation. They keep it working efficiently, and they do it at one predictable monthly cost. So do you get several bills currently? One from the internet provider, one from the cybersecurity company, another when you buy new equipment. With ABQIT, there's no hourly rate, no hourly billing, no labor billing, no hidden fees, no out-of-scope charges. One predictable rate. It doesn't change. Get a free assessment from ABQIT. Don't worry about computer problems again. Visit them online. It's abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Jason rewrote the Lobo fight song for you. The words.
Just for me?
Well, not probably just for you, but he wrote them. James wants to talk about the women. Jeff, this is the kind of game Lady Lobos have been begging for. A mediocre Power 5 club in Wise Pies of another squad instead of another squad from Timbuktu Conference. Southern Utah was good enough. I hope they show up, even though it's a really tough post time with a lot of other things going on. It's from James. So you've got a 2:00 game, right, on Sunday in the Pit. Arizona State, a good team out of the Pac-12 is coming in. It's very rare you get a Pac-12 team coming into your gym.
Got 2 of them. Season.
You got one this weekend.
Yep.
Coming off a loss to the Aggies. It's a big game, but they played well against Houston, right?
They did.
Okay.
This makes that first quarter that much more frustrating when you're down 20-2.
20-2. And you came all the way back and took it to overtime.
Team's going to be more up and down than anyone was expecting. Like, they're not the second best team in the Mountain West Conference right now.
And they got some time. All right, Deutsch in on Edward's call because Edward called a lot of people chokers. Speaking of choking, what happened to Crusher's 5-star picks, Jeffy? Has that feature hopefully been permanently retired? Yeah, because they choked. See what he did there? By the way, Edward came back in on Richard Pitino referring to Bill Belichick. He quoted him. He says, "Oh, now Coach Pitino is referencing Belichick. That's it. I may go and buy an overpriced ticket for tomorrow night." I knew there was a reason I recognized some genius in Coach Pitino. So there you go. He's got himself a new fan. Lobo Hobo wants to know, was that a shot at Jalen House, Jeff, when Pitino said, "Don't get caught up in hitting a shot and celebrating with the crowd"? Was that directed at his guard? I don't know that it was directed at anybody. Maybe it was. I don't know. I'm certain, though, if he told you something on the radio, that he has said it directly to his player. Don't you agree?
Yes.
I mean, so. Harold's all fired up at the volleyball tournament set. Looks like Lobo Volleyball will be breaking for the 5-hole Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Coach Paul Glazer had great success against Utah State, but it's hard to beat a club 3 times. So there you go. That's next week. Are you ready for Jason's email?
Yes.
Good morning. It says, "Win or lose, I come in, but do Lobo fans." Good morning, OD. "'Twas the night before the rivalry game, and all through the pit, fans were online looking for where to sit. The participant ribbons were hung from the rafter with care, in hopes NI2 banner 23 will soon be there." Okay, enough with the poem. When the young Aggies head north to take on the most complete basketball team in hoops history, there will be a cornucopia of challenges for Aggie basketball. I'm not being presaged when I say there will be fans of all types, from the older Get Off My Rocks crowd to chaparrals who've been practicing to the fans still waiting for the banners. Albuquerque's Division I team will welcome the young Aggies to their barn for a late afternoon post time in the con part in parentheses, iconic building that credibility, live and in person, by the way, of AWC through Mountain West Conference, or through New Mexico State by way of UNLV in the City of Crosses. Shout out to caller and emailer catchphrases in the email. Crimsonally Jason. All right, here's his rivalry joke. You ready? I don't know if I can sing it. He rewrote the UNM fight song. You know, I was like, "Hail to the New Mexico." You know that? All right, it says, "Wail to the officials, crying sons are we, stuck in the past. No go, crying baby, right. Now we think we are okay. When it gets tough, we bail. Whining ever, winning never, wail, wail, wail." That's from Jason. There's your rivalry joke. I'll give it to him, man. He's been strong this week.
God, the scrambled eggs one was fantastic.
What was that?
We got to pull it up from yesterday.
Yeah, they're both beaten, and yeah. All right, well that was good. All right, Lobo fan, come on in, because are we all on the Lobos tomorrow? It's just, I told you, I think the Lobos win tomorrow because I think that they are more mature and more of a product than the young Aggies right now. I think that with the atmosphere, what it's going to be. I haven't seen enough of the Aggies to know what I think they are. I think they're going to be good, and I know you were down there last week, and people are telling you, just wait till January and February. We're going to be really good when they come together. I think they've got good players. I think they've got good pieces. I think they've got to keep their emotions in check this weekend. And I think I just think the Lobos are a more mature, older team right now that's set for an early season game like this.
The Lobos are better right now. I still think there's going to be moments. It's just the athleticism with Washington and Pinson, I kind of getting their own, going at New Mexico. But the Lobos are just a better team right now. You look at the players that New Mexico State brought in. Washington was a top-level JUCO guy. So he's really good, but it's a little different than when you're bringing in 2 4-year guys like the Lobos and adding them into the mix instead of this entire new group for New Mexico State. I do think that's the advantage at home. Lobos, a more consistent unit right now in the season.
How's the Aggie backcourt play with the Lobo backcourt? Can they slow down the House and Mashburn? I don't know what they are defensively. I guess I just haven't seen enough of the Aggies yet.
Yeah.
You know, and like Richard said, it's hard to really see, right? They have the game against UTEP, which I didn't get to see. And then I watched them beat New Mexico Highlands by 50. So I don't know what they are yet. I think that they're going to be good. I think that they've got really good athletes. Everything I hear in the little bit I've seen, and look, to go on the road and lose to UTEP by 3 is nothing to hang your head about. That's nothing to be embarrassed about. I guess I don't know enough about them yet. And it almost feels like, and I know the Lobos sample size is only 3. It feels to me, and I'm going to use the word mature again, because they start 5 upperclassmen, bring KJ Jenkins and Jay Allen Tovar off the bench. It feels to me like a mature group that's just a little further along.
That is correct. And I think that will be the difference in tomorrow's game.
All right. Where are you? Aggie fan, come on in. Lobo fan, hear your new fight song, courtesy of Jason. Did I sing it good enough? I really didn't, did I?
Oh, that was great.
I mean, not really. No, singing's not really my thing. You ever do karaoke? Are you
No,
like
I don't like karaoke.
I don't either.
I always go with friends. In New York, I'd always go with my friend Broadway singers and like really good singers. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, so what you're doing there is
Like
sitting
I'm
there having
having
a cocktail, watching
having
them drink.
some Budweiser and just like, you know.
Is it Budweiser? Is that what you drank in the New York City karaoke
No, I
club?
didn't.
I'm going to guess you didn't.
I did not.
Yeah, I'm going to guess you did not.
No, I did not.
I don't mind going.
No, but people
But
love
I'm
it.
not a performer. Like I don't. You got to.
Like-
I don't know that. No.
No, I don't know.
But I watch my friends.
They let you freestyle. Might be different.
It's a good point. It's actually a really good point. If I just get to make up my own songs, just go my own way.
Everyone's always like, "What's your go-to karaoke song?"
have
I
one.
don't even have one.
Yeah, I don't have one.
I
I don't
should-
do it. Yeah, I don't do it. All right, 505-246-0610. That's the Quan. No, it's not. It's the 377. That's been a minute, huh? 377 Brewery
muscle memory.
Hotline. That's the 505-246-0610 is the 377 Brewery Hotline.
And I will tell you more about 377 Brewery, Jeff. I'm very excited, too, for tomorrow. As we know, the Aggies are taking on the Lobos at the Pit. And let me tell you something. I have the perfect pregame and postgame place for you to go. 377 Brewery, which is named after the flight wing at Kirtland Air Force Base. It's located literally right around the corner from the Pit. I'm telling you. Very close, northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. It's a great mix of European-style beers. They even have some cocktails. If you're not into the beer thing, they have an award-winning kitchen, and they have a great party room for holiday parties, birthday parties, whatever kind of event you want to put on. And I am putting on a stand-up comedy show tomorrow after the Lobo game. So come on down, 377 Brewery, 8 p.m. start. You can stop in and check them out in general on 377brewery.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter.
What a weekend. Aaron Rodgers is done. Package, you try to believe in him and think, maybe they could put something together. He's missing throws in the fourth quarter. Ryan Tannehill reminding everyone, steady, consistent. When he gets in a rhythm, he is a good quarterback. That team is just so far ahead of everyone else in that division. They're consistent. Consistency is hard to find. It's a great thing once you find it in the NFL.
What's the matter? Why are you shaking your head?
Shaking my head.
Why?
At Aaron Rodgers.
What did he do? Did he just overthrow
He's
Al
done.
Lazard again?
He's done.
Another throw.
He just overthrew Sammy again? Gene, good morning.
Morning, guys. I just want to touch on the Aggie Lobo game coming up this weekend. I know there's been a lot of hype about the backcourt, challenge there between House and Mashburn versus Pinson and Washington. I think that's going to be key. But, there hasn't been a lot of talk about the front court. And the Aggies' front court really didn't show up against UTEP. But it's going to be one of their strengths. You have Isa Muhammad, who was highly recruited by a lot of Power 5 schools, chose New Mexico State. He played for GH last year at Northwest Florida. And then you have Mike Peake, who was a returner for the Aggies. Didn't get a lot of time last year with the Aggies, but actually started out at Georgia. And so I agree with you that the Lobos probably have an edge in experience, but when you really look at the Aggies starting 5, you have three guys that have a lot of experience at the Power 5 level with Pinson, Gordon, and Peake. But I think the true key to the game is going to be the bench because, I think the Lobos may have 1 or 2 guys coming off the bench that are producing, but the Aggies can bring another 5 that would probably start for, 75% of most D1 teams out there. You have Chichi Avery, you have Dr. Bradley, you have Kyle Feit, who was the leading three-point shooter in junior college last year at I think he was shooting at 47%.
Yeah, Marcellus. Marcellus Avery's coming off.
Marcellus Avery, Chichi Avery.
I like Bradley, and I want to see what he does. See, and Gene, I don't think you're wrong. Like, I think the talent is there, and that's why they're so fired up. Wait, give us. Come watch us in January and February. They think they're going to be really good. I don't disagree with you on any of it in regards to the talent they have. And the only reason I'm leaning Lobos is I just think they're further along in development as a team. Individually, and JJ hit on this, they're probably this is really even individually, and the Aggies might even have an advantage as far as individual talent. The only reason and look, we could sit here Monday and you tell me I'm totally wrong, and I might be. That's just where I was coming from on this.
Yeah, no, I understand. And there's two key pieces to the Aggies that weren't part of the UTEP game, and the first is Anthony Roy. For whatever reason, he didn't dress out for that game, but he's a key piece off the bench. And then there's Kim Aiken Jr., the transfer from Arizona that hasn't become eligible yet through the HUT. But once Aiken becomes eligible, again, that's another threat on the block that they have that can also step out and hit the three. So. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Thanks for your time, guys.
No, I appreciate you, Gene. Thank you. Look, I think the Aggies, the talent-wise, this is one of those where and there's been many years, I've wished that they were in the same conference because they would play in February, right? And how many times have we come around where the Lobos have swept the Aggies, 2 close games, or they split, and we said, gosh, the Aggies go on a roll late, and all I hear is, well, it's just because they're playing that schedule. I'm like, I don't know, man. My eyes tell me they're pretty good.
But at this point, too, you got to get past that, because if you want to be a good program.
Yeah, you got to be good in January, November, December. No, I get it.
Are you going to get better? Do the Aggies have a higher ceiling the rest of the way than potentially the Lobos in terms of development? Probably. Because all those dudes he named off, that doesn't mean no good tomorrow.
No, that's right.
Like, the dude's not eligible. I don't care about his name for this matchup. That's the whole point of what we're talking about in tomorrow's game. Come January, February, when those guys are dressing and eligible, absolutely.